Let's talk about blended families. Blended families happen when you had a first marriage, had kids in that first marriage, that marriage ends either through divorce or death, and then you marry somebody else. Now you're in a blended family. And let me tell you, if you're in a blended family, you need estate planning more than other folks. One of the most common problems in the estate planning world that happens with blended families is that the children from the first marriage end up in conflict with the second spouse. So let's say you're on your second marriage, you have kids from your first marriage, you have community property with your new spouse. Community property means that every dollar that you earn while you're married, 50% of it immediately belongs to your spouse. So the longer you're married and the longer you're working while you're married or earning things as you're married, those are assets that you share with your spouse. Anything that you bring to the marriage beforehand or are gifted or inherit during the marriage, as long as you keep it separate, it's your separate property. So what happens in blended families is that all of the community property, if you die without a will or a trust, your community property is going to go to your spouse, and your separate property is going to be divided between your spouse and your children. Most people want to make sure that their children from their first marriage inherit something. And it's really easy for that not to happen if you don't plan ahead. Meaning, it's really easy to disinherit your children from your first marriage if you don't plan with a will or a trust for what's going to happen when the unexpected happens. Creating online documents for estate planning, like creating your own will and your own trust and those sorts of things online, is always kind of risky with regard to, are the documents really going to work when you need it? The truth is, with blended families, the risk shoots up even higher. If you want to make sure that your family stays out of court and out of conflict if something happens to you and you're in a blended family, you should give me a call so we can chat.